Hello, everybody, and welcome back for another race. This is actually game 3 between zelgadissan and Alaszun. In the booth here, I have Tyler and Cybercow, or CCX, and I'll hand it off to them.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So we've just finished up one intense match tonight, and we're here for a second.
Indeed, I'm looking forward to another intense matchup. Even if it takes forever, I'm still looking forward to an intense matchup.
Oh yes, the more rando, the merrier.
Indeed. Alright, we're gonna get underway here in just a second. And we're off!
Yep. And immediately finding a boomerang. It's doesn't really unlock much, but it's always nice to have something that can at least get enemies out of your way.
Yeah, nice stun item.
Yep.
Hey,
In the other one, they're not going back for that.
Yep.
And we're learning that the stun prize is small magic drops. So that's good knowledge.
Hey!
Yeah, immediate Ganon find.
I'll take this Ganon location over the other one from the last match.
Agreed.
Hey, I'll take ball.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Nice tree pull there.
Very nice.
We
And
find the well right away. It's good. You never want to see that walk behind one of your tougher things to find, like a certainly one of the Agas, but even at Magic Bat is kind of a tough spot because you're waiting on either Mitts and Mirror or a Hammer.
yeah, glad to see that. So while Zelga was looking over here and getting to the well, Alaszun's finding stuff down here at the Eastern Palace area.
Yeah, I've been seeing the Eastern start more and more in this tournament lately. Both runners last race did it, and we're seeing it again here. Oh, a big key to Ice Palace on Zelga's side. Alaszun finding a Hyrule Castle entrance. Those are always all fine because it's a three-pronged connector.
Ooh, wow!
Yeah, that's a very good item early in the game. Especially
Even
when Sank spits you out in the Dark World.
Well, alrighty then. Oh, right, this is a Shadow Seed.
Yeah, so we could. Oh man, and here's GT. Only two
Let's
items
go.
available so far, plus a check on a third. And getting the bug net and a heart, and is going to check what's on the torch. But it's just a compass. And is going to pick up a small key before leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess there isn't really that much you can do as a bunny in East Dark World, because you can't go over to Catfish, you can't pick up Kiki. There are a couple entrances, but ooh, speaking of entrances, we've got our first desert front entrance, so that'll be some connectors. And, oh, another of our dungeons with multiple entrances. We've got a Turtle Rock entrance.
An Aetheron race game.
Yeah. Not quite as interesting as last race where there was a Moon Pearl sitting over there, but...
Indeed.
But, Ether could be useful, maybe.
A lot of it will depend on what dungeon entrances are required.
Yeah, which entrances. I mean, oh, and we see a dark cave, so this is going to be some form of connector. But will they be able to get through? Zelgadissan using the boomerang to get through, and does come out on Death Mountain with an old man behind him.
And he has some Mountain Dew for us.
Yeah, our first bottle. Very nice. sees
Another
the connector, decides doesn't want to take it just yet in case it dumps him out somewhere he can't get back into. Not necessarily a bad decision. You've got so many caves over here.
Yeah, so many entrances. Rather not take the connector at this point.
Yeah. And with that mirror, can even check some Dark World entrances. Not to mention, of course, there's the entrance to Tower of Hera.
Which has the back of Skull Woods.
Yeah. With the hammer!
Nice!
And that just opens up even more checks up here, because that lets him get over to East Death Mountain. And Alaszun also up on Death Mountain with the old man. Just a heart piece on Floating Island.
Ooh, I'm liking this scene already.
Yeah, it's fast. Or at least it's off to a fast start, but you never know with these seeds. Fast start doesn't always
True.
mean fast seed.
No, it does not. Normally it means long seed. At least in my experience.
Yep. And thing is, you can often end up doing circles around Death Mountain in entrance rando because there are so many drop downs and it takes a few laps to get them all. And in this seed, there isn't really necessarily a great way to get back to the west side from here. Finding Agina's cave. Gives us the sewer key.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we did find Hyrule Castle already, so that sewers key puts some other things in logic in there. So for the
Oh, that
most
is
part,
nice.
they don't really worry about that because you're always just going to be able to like find. Well, actually, no. Wait, in this seed, that is very important because.
Yeah, the
Right
the big
now,
bomb.
with Sanka's like at the Ganon location, so you wouldn't be able to. You'd have to choose between the back of Escape or the Zelda cell. Unless you want to kill Aga too. But
Yeah, let's see what's over here at Lumberjack.
Thieves' Hideout. Well, we can check to see what item that is. And it's just a red rupee, so Aga 1 not required.
Woo!
Yeah, not required because we already know they can get over to that part of the Dark World because that's where Sank is.
Yup. All right, well, Alaszun's back in Kakariko looking around again.
Zelga, knowing that she's already found Ganon, dives straight into the drop down without checking what it is. Turns out it's magic bat, so he can't actually get anything out of it.
Hey, Bombos!
Yeah. Probably the most valuable medallion in entrance rando, because the chances of there actually being something at one of the medallion dungeon entrances is probably lower than the chance that you'll have to go into Ice Palace without the fire rod.
Yeah. Well, what does Super Bunny Cave have for us today?
Ice rod and bow.
That's nice!
Yeah, that is major value for a 2-item cave.
I'll say, especially if you gotta go out one entrance, in one and out one, at least a bumper cave!
Yeah, that's a Super Bunny Cave with the hype, but talking about that ice rod, we found the big key to Turtle Rock over in Sahasra's closet on Alaszun's side.
Yeah. And Paradox Cave has what for us today?
Well,
I'll take
got
gloves.
A glove, yeah, that's a good start. And the well was just Uncle, but all they've got there is a small key to GT. Zelda's found the hook shot. And the book. And another small key to GT. Well, his first, but Alaszun just found one shortly before him.
Yeah.
But
there's
yeah,
Alaszun, he found it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's... Yeah, that's right, but
Yeah.
oh, yeah, you can get over there from there. So he's gonna pick up all those things.
And immediately put those gloves to use in the Light World shopping mall. Ooh, Jeep go!
Finds Aga Tower. His thing about it, he is going to go for that first item.
Why not? I got the hammer.
Yeah. And just 10 arrows. Oh, but Alaszun taking a death.
Ouch!
We're going to get to see where Old Man Cave is. It's... Oh, that's the Bumper Cave entrance. And Eastern Palace is at the normal Death Mountain entrance. Now, with those gloves, they don't necessarily have to save and quit there to get there. They can just go in the normal way.
That's true.
But yeah, and we've got some sync going on here.
Let's go.
Bumper Cave, can't get through that without the cape. And that looked like a bottle, and
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Definitely something, because Alaszun is going in for it, and it looks like so well. Oh no, that's a moon pearl.
Ooh!
I saw that wrong.
So did I. I thought it was the bottom of a bottle.
Yeah.
Well, what a way for us to be wrong.
Yeah. chat saying they thought it was a bottle also. I was thinking it
Oh,
was
we all
like
got faked out.
a bee in a bottle to me. Yeah, no, that's a moon pearl. So now we've got
All right.
normal Dark World access in a Crosskeys seed in under 20 minutes. Hammer, glove, moon pearl.
Hey, was that the back of
Find it.
desert?
Yeah, desert back. We're finding some dungeons, but we don't have that many keys yet. Finding Hype
Nope.
Cave with the sword. That's Hype.
Okay, stabby stab. Let's go.
20 rupees. A compass. A small key to TR and blue mail. Okay, so we
Okay,
got,
that's a decent high cave.
yeah, sword and armor.
I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Oh, and there's Spike Cave. Can't quite do that with no safeties. I mean, there is one bottle, but I don't remember what's in it. I don't think it's anything that would help him there. But with that few hearts, no safety items really. Yeah, can't do Spike Cave.
Yeah.
We find Ice Palace. That's he's not going in, but I mean you. Oh no, he doesn't have the sword yet, so he can't go.
That's right, he hasn't visited the high cave yet.
Right. Alaszun, when he finds that, he actually could go in. It wouldn't exactly be pleasant, and it is only a green pendant, but I mean,
Right.
oh no, he
Something.
doesn't have. Alaszun hasn't found Bombos.
Oh, he hasn't visited the Lost Woods yet.
So, okay, here's zelgadissan in Hype Cave, going to get his sword. And question is he going to do fighter sword hammer Ice Palace with just bombos? He hasn't seen Sahasra's hut, so he doesn't know that it's only a pendant. But I don't think he's going to go there. Too many good checks here. He's mirroring.
Era!
Yeah.
Sorry, interrupted you.
Yeah, I don't think that was where he meant to go. Oh, is he not? I thought Zelda had been in this part of CAC already, but he looks like maybe he hasn't checked CAC.
No, I think he came up to the top when he was checking Paradox, but then went right back in and didn't do anything because he found went up to death. Well,
so that gets him his second GT small. And race game left not paying off, just a shop. Alaszun will pick up that ether medallion just in case. And Zelda finds Sahasra's hut, learns that Ice Palace is just the green pendant. And picks up his TR big and his big money.
let's go digging.
Yep. Digs up a small key too. Ganon's Tower. We've already got 3 GT smalls and a... Oh, there's a lamp on Zelda's side, but
Well, I'll take that.
hammer, hookshot, 3 small ice armors is in logic.
Take. And more money in good heavens, what's that cave's name? Spectacle Rock Cave. I can think through stuff.
And Zelga restocking on bombs in the restock hut. It's gonna go back in, grab 4 more. Oh, but the rat
Or not the rat. Damn it.
just by dropping an 8-pack. I guess he was done with his route there, because he just save and quit right out of Useless Fairy's cave.
Hey, the damn.
Yeah, giving another bottle. This one with a red goo. And Misery Mire is over in the desert area.
All right.
Or, I guess, just east of desert area.
Close enough.
Yeah, I consider that part of the desert area. And we get an Ice Palace Small. There's some spicy logic in this seed. With technically the logic wants you to have both small keys, or one small key and the Cane of Samaria to get through Ice Palace, but we're getting very close to a logical Ice Palace clear. We've got the logic for getting to Ice Armos via the left side. This seed could be making these runners do some pretty weird things pretty soon. But there's still so many other places to check. We're gonna see what's at the normal Hype Cave entrance. Swamp Palace! Yeah. But no flippers means can't really do anything in there. And Zelga now gets the news about our 5-6 crystals at Desert Palace and Turtle Rock.
Spiral Cave. Or did I miss that the first time around? I did. Oof, mirror bonk.
Yep, yeah. Gotta remember, those don't quite line up in the two worlds. Alaszun now going to get the news that Aga 1 is not required. And Zelga into Tower of Hera.
Now, would Zelga go and do the Harapot stuff? Because they do have the hook shot.
Might.
Alaszun's there. He's gonna find out. Very nice information here.
Yep. Looks like he is going to be making the play to Harapot. And Alaszun with his Super Bunny Hype Cave. Or, I guess, would we call that a Hyper Bunny Cave? Sounds good to me.
Ooh, let's do it. I like that one. Hyper Bunny Cave.
Oh, and Big Key of Eastern up at Hera. So that pays off because we have found Eastern. We have the bow.
Technically, it's out of logic still, but
Yeah, that sequence break could be.
very advantageous.
Yeah, that's the type of sequence break you like to. That's the type of thing you like to find out of logic. Yeah, and Zelga even has the lamp, so that does everything else is completely would be in logic as soon as he finds Hera Big. And down goes Moldorm, our first boss of the game. Is it a crystal? Oh, we find the compass
It
of
is.
Hera in Hera, and it is a crystal. And
Just
yep, Zelga dipping into Turtle Rock. Nothing big in the big chest. And heading onwards to Crystallola Room. Gets a heart container.
they'll backtrack over to Chain Chomp Room.
Yep. And the big key chest. And Alaszun shows us what's at back of Old Man's Cave. Turns out to just be Desert Right again. But with that book is going to get to check Desert Front. And it's another Turtle Rock entrance, so
Okay.
they could be doing the same checks in a few minutes there. But it doesn't seem to have paid off much. And both our runners using their medallion to help them kill the Hokuboku in that room. Which is kind of interesting given that they didn't have the same medallion, though Zelga will pick up that ether now.
I don't know, I kind of like smashing a frozen enemy, to be honest.
Ooh, Mirror Bonk. Oh, and Alaszun can't quite get there. It could be a waste of time if he decides to go back for that, because we know it's only 10 arrows. But he's not going to try it again. He is headed out of there.
Are we going to go back to GT?
I mean, now you've got all four. Now it's actually due to the weird way the logic works, where theoretically you can choose. It can't be sure which side you'll choose to go to. Ice Armos is locked behind 3 small keys, but Rando Room and the Compass Room, one of which you'd have to go past or through to get there, are both considered locked by all 4, but we have all 4 now, so...
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, Rando Room is considered in logic too, but...
And there's a game!
Yeah, didn't even have to go to the ones locked by a bunch of keys. That was just plain hammer locked, and that actually opens up another check-in here. If they want to finish up with Tile Room, they can do that now.
Nice boomerang strat there. I could never do that stuff. Hey, upgrade fairy.
Yep, Zelga picking up the bomb upgrade.
Oh, I forget, Zelga hasn't done South Hyrule yet.
And what is in Rando Room? 3 bombs, 300 rupees, 20 rupees, piece of heart.
Or in other words, a whole lot of nothing.
Yep. Zelga going to pick up a couple of pots to get up to 500 rupees. Alaszun using a bomb to get past that teleporter, since he doesn't have the boots to do it. And looks like, are we gonna see a bomb jump? And Zelga finding Swamp, has not found the dam yet. And we've got our second bow in Bob's chest.
Bob holding on to the silvers.
Yeah, and it pretty nice timing too, because that'll make this fight go much quicker. And what do we have? 20 rupees, 20 rupees, and 20 rupees.
You get a 20, I get a 20, everyone gets a 20.
Yeah, but this GT dip has been pretty fruitful. We've gotten silver arrows and a cane of Samaria.
Yeah, I will agree with that one.
And we still have one more check-in here. And
An empty bottle?
Yep, a third bottle of the match.
Oh, sick kid, where are you?
And now Zelga finds the dam and his second bottle. Alaszun seems to be headed over to the pod area.
Laser bridge!
Yeah, what will it give us? 10 arrows. Oh, takes a hit from the laser. Sneaks past to pick up 3 bombs. And 20 rupees. Will he be able to get to the last one? He does. It's 50 rupees. And Bombo's tablet is just pocket change.
Alright, Meyer Shed. Compass of Thieves Town and a small piece of heart.
Zelga clearly not happy, having just saved and quit away from the desert area, to find that his back of old man just led him to the desert right. Alaszun going to show us what Scam Monkey has for us today. Absolutely
Harry.
nothing. And Zelga is making that GT play now.
They will be happy with what they find in here, I think.
Meanwhile, Alaszun making the play into Hyrule Castle. But, does it, according to the tracker, it looks like, Alaszun hasn't found that,
Yeah, the
small
sewer.
key yet. Yeah. So,
But they did
well,
find the Master Sword.
yeah, it does find that Master Sword very useful. And I'm curious to see what, which way Alaszun's going to play this.
Yeah.
Is he going to go all the way to Zelda's cell, or is he going to steal the key from here to go to Dark Cross and the back of us? Escape. He is going to use that key here, so he won't be able to get to back of escape until he finds that key, or kills Aga too, but probably until he finds that key.
Yeah, I'll bet on that one.
And finds a mushroom locked behind that key. And without the lamp, is not going to head to Dark Cross, is going to check these connectors. That one dumps him out at Mimic Cave. Oh, and we have our connector into Mire, so flute not required. And Alaszun going to show us what that small key is. Aga Tower. Well, the first Aga Tower, small. It does unlock one more chest. Oh, but we find Blind's hideout.
Yay!
With the fire rod.
Okay, that was worth it just for the rod.
And Mire is its vanilla ether, so both our runners can get into that.
And just a chess mini game. Okay, Mire has thieves. Thieves down.
Yeah. Forgetting which dungeon it is, just because it's not Mire there doesn't mean it won't still have the map of Mire. But it also has the small key to Swamp, which is far more useful.
Yes, it does. Das Boots!
Yeah, catfish with the value. Alaszun picking up his first shield. And we're going to get trying to get a splash deletion. Doesn't quite get it on the first try. And can't quite seem to get it. Just going to move along and check what Zora's got and what's waiting on the ledge. Looks like that was our last bottle.
Yep, bottle percentage.
Zelga, forgetting that he does not have flippers, and has to take the long way. And pays our scam fish to get 300 rupees. Not as bad. Yeah, gets over half of it back, and we find Mini Moldworm Cave behind that Master Sword. Bombs. A big key to swamp. A small key to desert.
Okay, the
10
desert small.
arrows and half magic. The half magic's nice.
Yeah.
And a small key to desert unlocks 2 more items. And the big key to swamp unlocks 1 item once you get the flippers that he doesn't have. But
Right.
Alaszun back in GT to clear out those 4 chests on the right side now that he has Fire Rod. While zelgadissan follows that out of logic Eastern Palace big key. Well, I mean, there's still 4 chests in here that are in logic.
It's true.
I mean, it is entirely possible that the big key to Tower of Hera is actually in one of those chests, and the logic wanted you to double dip this dungeon. And right side GT not paying off. There's a big key. Not at Hera though, it's Thieves Town. I'd say that's better.
I do too.
Because there is absolutely no way around needing that one if you need to clear that dungeon. There's a big key also. That couldn't have been Tower of Hera's because it's in the big chest. It's Myers. So
Hey.
this yeah, sequence breaking 1 big key has led to 2 others.
Well, we're gonna go fight Trinex.
And 10 arrows in the vanilla big key chest. So we're gonna be seeing a couple of boss fights in pretty short succession. Alaszun heading to Trinex, zelgadissan heading to Armos. And
Oh, okay, good. Red potion.
using the red potion. And both bosses go down.
Crystal in Eastern Palace, and we know we have a crystal over here in Turtle Rock.
Yep. Oh wow. Looks like
said
you're
what?
not getting in the oh. Yeah, you have to take a different entrance into TR. That is That is the front entrance of TR, locked behind TR completion. That is
fantastic.
that's entrance rando for you.
Oh, let's go turn in that mushroom.
Yep. And Pyramid Fairy at the King's Tomb has a pod small, our first of the match, almost 55 minutes in.
Wow. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. And using that red potion, having 11 hearts, is enough to get through Spike Cave. Oh, and it's a second pod small.
Hey.
Zelgadissan finding Laser Bridge for the first time. Still without that fire rod though, so he cannot go all the way to Trinex. And Alaszun picks up his Bombos medallion. Not well, actually, we still haven't seen what the Vanilla Turtle Rock entrance is. But with the Fire Rod, Alaszun's not going to need that Bombos medallion for Ice Palace. Though, we may never need to really go into Ice Palace, because it's a pendant.
Yep. Hey, let's see what's in the back of Skull Woods.
Mimic Cave. Just a map to Swamp Palace.
Oh, we're gonna get a pet check.
Yeah, let's see. Get your pet hypes in chat. Just a little piece of love. Well, I mean, last seed pet itself wasn't worth anything, but pet access was still required because all 3 pendant bosses had something important, so that's still a possibility.
So if we get that 2 seeds in a row, I am.
That would just be weird.
It'd be weird, but it would make my day.
Zelga doing the Hyrule Castle dip, gets his Master Sword, will be able to go all the way to the back of Escape with that sewer key and the lamp. Not that these runners really care about lamp logic, but does have that lamp. Which is nice. We were talking about that first seed of this doubleheader, neither runner found the lamp at all in that race.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. This is Danganronpa MSU. Actually, both of these runners have their own Danganronpa MSUs, so if we were to switch audio, it wouldn't be exactly the same music, but it would still be from the same game.
Yup.
Zelga picking up the mushroom. We'll go to the back, and hopefully for him, we'll remember that he needs to mirror back to check those other entrances, because I believe left side was how we got to that desert ledge that led to Fire Rod.
Right. I think it was right ledge, but yes, it's one of the ledges.
Oh yeah, it was one of them. Meanwhile, Alaszun about to get his lamp. There it is. And Dark Cross has the small key to Tower of Hera. That's
Okay.
what is required to put things back into logic. Unless the Tower of Hera big key is vanilla, but that would be
I
disgusting.
doubt it. Alright, back at escape. What do you got?
Small key to Thieves, Cape, and small key to T-Rock.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen one side of Bumper Cave, so I don't know if they've already seen the other side or if that's still a connector that's outstanding. But
I think it's still a connector that we haven't found.
And he also does have big key, so with that small key to Thieves, that's a full clear available.
Yes.
And I don't think he's found Thieves Town yet. I think that was Alaszun found it and doesn't have the big key yet either.
Yeah, it was over in the Meyer area.
Yeah, oh yeah, if it was in the Meyer area, then we know that Zelga hasn't been over there yet.
And just 10 arrows on the ether tablets.
And yeah, Zelga wanted to finish up his pod area first. Now he's checking that connector. Yeah, this was Mimic Cave. It was right side. Alaszun heading to the back of Skull Woods, going to take on Mothula. And with Fire Rod and Half Magic, should be no problem at all. And I think might even have a green potion.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes,
That was
pet has
from
been
the
checked.
old man. Yes, pet has been checked. It's a piece of heart. Yep. And there's the Fire Rod. Down goes Mothula on Alaszun's side. It's a crystal.
Accept.
Yeah, we've seen 4 dungeons cleared between these two runners. Only one of them we actually knew was a crystal at the time they were doing it, but they've all turned out to be crystals.
Alright, that's now making me start to wonder which dungeons are pendants. Yeah, I can talk.
Oh. Yeah, we've got 4 dungeons that we don't know what they are. Palace of Darkness, Swamp Palace, Thieves Town, and Misery Mire.
Well, we could find out what one of those are here pretty soon.
Yeah. And Zelga picks up his small key to Swamp.
Checkerboard Cave having another small key to Misery Mire.
You know, I wonder if Zelda is if this does turn out to be a crystal. I wonder if Zelga's going to do a map check after this, because he just picked up the map to Misery Mire, and if Mire is well, he wouldn't know about that Skull Woods is a crystal, but if Thieves Town and Mire are our 2 remaining crystals, Zelda's already in go mode and just doesn't know it yet.
We're still missing the big key to
Desert Big, yeah, Desert Big.
Alright, well, the mushroom just has bombs on it. Oh, good golly, the anticipation's killing me. Hey, Alaszun's picking up that sewage tower key.
Alaszun making the play for Dark Cross and Back of Escape. Zelgadissan beats Blind, gets the big key too. Hide.
Okay. And Thieves Town is a crystal.
Yeah. I was so hoping that that one was going to be Tower of Hera, because Thieves Town, if are up and we get
Thieves Town is a pendant.
Myers the
Sorry, that's what I want.
Myers the pendant, and now he knows that that Skull Woods is a crystal, but I saw, yeah, no information on pod versus swamp for our last crystal.
Yeah, I didn't see anything either.
But yeah, because if I remember correctly, Thieves Town was the big key that was in Eastern, not blocked by having the big key. It was Meyer was the one that was in the big chest.
Yes.
Because, of course, the Eastern Palace Big Key, and thus by extension the Meyer Big Key, are still out of logic. Zelga got to that by doing Herapot. It was, but, yeah, the progression that Herapot has led him to feels like Zelga has the advantage here. He's heading towards Trinex. That'll be his 4th crystal.
Yeah, but it looks like Alaszun's gonna go back to Hera. Or I could be wrong.
And Alaszun's making checks in Turtle Rock, probably is going to
Probably
backroute
back
it
to the beginning part.
yeah. Zelda, I think, wanted to look at the front and is not happy with his inability. Heading into Mini Moldorm Cave. And Alaszun gets those 10 arrows that he was unable to get before. Zelga picking up his Desert Small, Half Magic, and Swamp Big. And starts to dash out of the cave before remembering he doesn't have anything else to do in this area. And saving and quitting. Alaszun picks up the Fire Shield from the first chest of Turtle Rock, which was nowhere near the first in this seed.
Hey, pod!
Yeah, pod. And that is definitely a new find.
And the flippers!
Flippers.
Ooh, tempered sword.
No, it's not go mode yet. We know that we still need that Desert Big. But it's looking like, I mean, unless we need more pod smalls to get that Desert Big, where it is just that Desert Big for go mode.
Yep.
And we see another pod small over in Desert on Alaszun's side. And yeah, Zelga doesn't want to use a key to get to the back just yet. He wants that
He wants
Helmasaur
that
kill.
crystal from him.
But yeah, this is very important information because this is either going to be a crystal, and I guess that would be, it's either going to be his 5th crystal or it's going to tell him that Swamp is a crystal. And Alaszun checking what's in the basement of Tower of Hera. Just 10 arrows in the basement chest in Hera. And a full heart container on Helmasaur, but also a crystal.
That's probably the most important information you got out of that whole dungeon.
Yep, and he does still have one key. Is he going to head back in? Probably is. And yep, he is going to go to the right side again so that he can get further in without having with his one key. Alaszun picking up his Eastern Palace big key. Oh yeah, definitely doing the long way. With only one more key, going the short way, you'd run out of keys right away. You'd just be able to get a couple more checks.
Alright, so do you do Helmless Hallway, or do you do,
You
Dark
do
Man.
the... No, you need that one key just to get back to,
Oh, that's right, Doy.
the dark basement, and then, you bomb jump over. Yeah, that's his last key. So, both Harmless Hellway and the big key chest have to be orphaned here. Alaszun finishing off Moldorm. That's his 3rd crystal. We get a Skullwood Small and a full heart container. And the map of Pod in the big chest.
Woohoo!
Along with our 2nd Aga Tower key, not required. And another TR small.
So nothing to it. Ganon is that useless fairy today.
We find Sick Kid with a key to Misery Mire. No, we've I think found all of the entrances we need. We're just neither of our runners have the big key to desert, and Alaszun's still missing a few things.
Mainly just the boots.
Actually, yeah, I'm not sure if boots are required for anything. It might actually be, oh, well, he still needs a bunch more big keys, but he's on a path to getting those. 2 of those big keys
Yep.
are in this dungeon right here.
Boots are required, though. They do open up pod.
Oh, right, pod was boots locked. Forgot, yeah. So he needs the boots to get into pod, and he's still missing the big keys to pod and Thieves Town. He'll find one of them here. Also, we'll find a pendant big key to Myers also in here. And Zelga heading for Mothula.
Down goes the moth.
And that'll be Zelga's 6th crystal. And question is, where will he go next? I feel like, well, first he's going to go check what's on Ether Tablet. But I feel like, I mean, we've had Ice Palace access for so long, but
Ooh.
neither of them wanted to do it because they already, well, by the time they could get into it, both of them already knew that it was only the green pendant. I feel like something's gotta be there. Now, I mean, it might just be to put us back in logic, because we still don't know where that Tower of Terra big key is. That's almost certainly there, but I mean, wouldn't it be gross if the Tower of Hera big chest has had it all along? Has had that DP big? And
that would be evil. It'd be so nice.
I mean, it seemed like sequence breaking Hera was like the big play. And Alaszun, making the map check, sees his other 2 pendant dungeons. Is probably fairly dismayed to learn that Meyer, which he can totally complete, and swamp, which he just needs the flippers for, are the two pendants, whereas Pod, which he hasn't even found yet and doesn't have the big key for, is a crystal. And he doesn't know it, but the reason he hasn't found it yet is because he hasn't found the boots.
Ooh, looks like Alassun's probably making the play over to Thieves Town.
It's a good move for him. He knows it's a crystal dungeon, and he can full clear it. So this is going to be Zelga's ped check. We already saw on Alaszun's side that it is not required, and now zelgadissan is learning that.
Oh, we're making the Ice Palace play.
Yep. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's because of a missed check. There's both of these runners have always had something good to do. So dipping independent dungeons has never really been a great move for them, and it is looking like it's just this one item. Well, I suppose that actually Alaszun missing skipping catfish is probably a bigger case of yeah, I realize that it's Alaszun skipping catfish is probably costing him.
Unfortunately.
Oh, another pod small.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. That was the pod big location. It was on blind, so. Oh, big key too. Hera.
Hera!
Okay, that did. I was thinking that Ice Palace was probably where we needed to go to put everything back into logic, at the very least, and it did. We found that Hera big key.
All right, now let's put the Desert Palace big key in this big chest at the Tower of Hera.
And Alaszun making the play into Ice Palace as well.
All right.
And a quick cold stare fight gives the map of Eastern. And Zelda is rushing towards Sahasrara to turn in that green pendant. He is. It's a small key too, Skullwoods. Ganon is at Useless Ferry.
All right, is it in the big key chest? Maybe no. Never mind.
Yep. This is the dive into desert.
I forget my dungeon locations.
And with 15 hearts already, Zelda is not going to pick up that heart container. Gets himself another pod small. He actually at this point can get every chest in pod, but it would take a couple of trips around the long way unless he picks up one more small key.
Mega's bringing up a good point in chat. What if the big key to desert is behind the big key to Ganon's tower and it's up in the climb?
And
That would be evil.
Zelga jumps down and immediately finds another entrance to desert and finds Sick Kid, gets his last Misery Mire small. They do not have the big key to Ganon's tower.
Yeah, my new bet is now it's on the climb.
Yep. And yeah, Alaszun seems to be trying to set up a fake flipper. We have exited the Big Bomb entrance. It's actually the front entrance to Turtle Rock, which was one of our 5-6 crystals. And we find our last shield. Both runners have the second shield, but they got their second shield in different places. Alaszun using that whirlpool to get over to Dark Shopping Mall. That's just a fortune teller. What's in this cave? Nothing. And nothing. And in the Light Worlds, oh, he's going to take advantage of that one Aga Tower key to get that second item in here. Nice diver down by Zelga.
Just a heart container up there.
Pod is boots locked. Yeah, no, he can't. He needs the boots for that. But he is... looks like he is heading over towards Catfish right now.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the play for him.
I don't think he meant to do that.
Whoopsies!
And yeah, I think he's last location to this. I think he knows that something is going to be there. Oh, Tempered Sword in Swamp Palace. You know what the meme says, there's always a sword in Swamp.
Exactly.
There's also a shovel in Swamp Palace.
Ooh.
And there's Alaszun picking up those boots, and based on the bombos usage and the multiple lamp usages, I think he knew he had left something important there. And he's not going to try to do the splash deletion. He's moving on, going to check things, and starting out at Link's house, he's probably about to... Oh, no, he's heading south. Oh, he's going to go into the Dark World so he can check both of those, of course.
Ah. The Swamp Palace is dead.
Yeah, and he doesn't even, having already seen that the pedestal is dead, he doesn't even wait for the pendant to drop down. He just saves and quits as soon as he grabs that treasure.
Oh, Zelga hasn't done the right side yet.
Correct. Alaszun did clear out both sides, but Zelga did not go back for full right side after picking up Fire Rod. And interesting routing by Alaszun in Palace of Darkness. He goes through the front door and then still goes straight to Helmasaur there. Ends up checking the chests in the arena, so to speak. And Piece of Heart in the
dig spot.
Yep.
All right, a dip in the mire.
Yeah.
It's probably one of your last item dense locations.
No, we've seen what's on Bomba's tablet. It was pocket.
It was
change.
chump change.
Zelda didn't have Master Sword at the time, so he didn't actually get the item, but he read the tablet with the book. Mire with the Quake Medallion. Which doesn't unlock anything because we still don't have Titan's Mitts if it turns out that the Turtle Rock entrance is required. I don't think he has done the drop down yet, but he also hasn't done the Bullock side yet, I don't think.
No, not the Bullock side yet.
And so far, Meyer not really paying out. Is this... Oh, I was like, is this some sort of glitch he's setting up? And yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one.
I saw it for the first time, like, a few days ago, or I guess, like, last week or something. It is definitely an interesting one. It's the same principle as Icebreaker. It's something about extending the size of your door transition. I don't really understand it, but yeah, it's like the same glitch that allows Icebreaker.
Ah, so same type of principle kind of deal. Okay, cool. Oh, there it is!
Key to desert!
It's in Meyer!
Yeah, that chest that was in Logic in Pod had that flute, but flute doesn't really do anything. I mean, yeah, he only had 2 keys, but yeah, that chest is in Logic with 1 key or bow plus hammer. But yeah, flute wasn't really anything this seed, because we had a connector into the Meyer area. So yeah, this should be pretty quick. Don't even know which weapon he's going to use against them. It looks like he is going to go with silver arrows. Is the quickest strat if you're an accurate shot. And that's as accurate as they come. 3 arrows, 3 kills. And the big key to Skullwoods. Just so that we
I
can
forgot
have...
we were missing that key!
Oh, well, we don't... I was going to say just so we could have every big key, but we haven't found the big key to GT. Who knows where it is? Nowhere important, I'm sure. I mean, there's nothing that could possibly be required there.
Alright, let's go fight the pig.
Yep, dashes over and drops into the Ganon fight at 148.19. We got cheese facts today.
Hey, I like cheese.
And Zelda's already menued over to the silver arrows. We're getting some trolley Ganon warps, but almost through phase 3. And we're on to the final phase. Gets off 1 arrow shot, gets torch glitch. 2 more arrow shots down. Last one. And there
We
we
have
go. We're gonna
bacon!
get a sub 150.
Get those GGs in chat. Winner!
And Alaszun picking up his mirror shield in Swamp Palace. GG, zelgadissan.
Hey, GG's. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a seed felt like it was going to be like a real jet seed, and then it kind of slowed down. That one big key just took a while. It was very elusive, but I'd say there were probably 2 plays that you made that really decided the seed. The first was the early decision to do the Herapot, because that just most of the big keys in this seed were kind of like all lined up in a chain there, and that really got you started. And the other, of course, was the decision to go to Catfish. Alaszun, it felt like it just about last locationed it almost.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. This was a really weird seed. Like I felt like I couldn't do anything wrong for about the first 45 minutes to an hour, and then I feel like every minute since then I've only been looking for the desert big, and it's been very stressful knowing that if I can get that kind of route, I'm sure Alaszun can, because he's usually better at routing than I am. So, like, it felt good, but at the same time, constant stress. Like,
Yeah, well, that's why I said that the decision to Herapot when you did was a big one, because that led to that eastern big key, which led to well, I mean, directly to the Meyer big key, but also Thievestown big key was in eastern as well. And then Meyer ended up having your desert big key.
yeah, it's actually kind of funny when I found Pod, I was actually on my way to Meyer at the time.
Yeah,
One entrance.
yeah, I almost forgot. Thieves big key actually led to Pod big key. That was on blind. So yeah, a lot of these big keys were just kind of like all lined up in a row there, and with the early Ice Palace access that you guys had, I had a feeling that something was going to be in there. It turned out it was just the logical progression there, with that Hera big. But yeah, well played.
Thank you. Yeah, this is yeah, like I said, this was a tale of 2 halves, where the first half I felt like I could do nothing wrong, and then by the nature of it, if you keep hitting the right path forever, I mean, all of a sudden you only have one more path to follow and a million wrong ones. And I feel like I did thousands of the wrong ones before finally getting that desert big. But yeah, this was basically a jet if you just did everything in the right order.
Yeah, there was one thing that chat was perhaps a little unhappy with. Your routing in pod, you ended up orphaning Stalfos Basement, which is in logic with only one small key.
Yeah, that's. I knew I orphaned it.
It was a good convenience item there. Alaszun did end up getting it, and that was actually where the flute was. But that was pretty late in the seeds, and we already knew that flute wasn't actually required. But
Okay. Yeah, I knew I orphaned it. I went in there with 2 keys, and if I just rushed the boss, I would find out for sure whether. Well, first off, when I went in, I decided I'm just rushing the boss, and then I got flippers in the first chest, and I should have probably just rushed the swamp boss instead to find out my last pendant versus my last crystal. But that's why I just went straight to Helmasaur, and at that point, with only 1 key left, I'm just going to go to the back, and doing that whole bow side a third time felt like absolute trash, so I just figured I'll come back when I get enough keys. So it might have actually been my next play if Meyer hadn't had the Desert Big. It was go right back to pod now that I had enough.
yeah, it's I mean, I understood the reasoning, but some of the chat was saying that they hate when people orphan the chest that is in logic to check the ones that aren't. I understand it's a higher density thing, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I actually the reason I'm in the losers bracket is because I did not intentionally orphan that chest in a different tournament race, which had my Cane of Samaria, which blocked the entire seed, and that one was a disaster.
Yeah,
like that's one of the, I was like standing around for a few minutes trying to figure out what to do type seed.
Yeah, and it looks like Alaszun's probably about to hit go mode. He's in mire right now.
I'm actually a little curious. I felt like the whole Pearl sequence was something that I did very well, even if it wasn't entirely in logic as I did it. I'm curious, was that something that I had an advantage for a while, or did Alaszun basically have it at the same time? I was just curious.
Yeah, you guys got it about the same time.
Yeah, you guys got it at the same time, but wasn't really out of logic. Where was the pearl again? It was on.
It was on Lumberjack Cave over in on the Sank.
Yeah, I mean,
It actually faked us all out. We thought it was a bottle at first.
Yeah, it was. What was so out of logic about that?
The way I found it was just like a little weird path that I took from the mountain where I had rescued the old man. It wasn't actually out of logic. It was just the whole chain that I took there to get me there.
Yeah, I was like, unless like gloves had been out of logic, but I didn't think they were. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I think in the early going, the paths were pretty similar. You guys got Pearl like right around the same time. Believe you got that like the absolute bounty of stuff up on Death Mountain with the bow and ice rod, and then shortly after that the hook shot. And what was the other item in the cave with the hook shot?
I don't remember offhand. I know the hammer was up there too, because I ended up orphaning some entrances because I wasn't thinking, because I got the hammer, and then I just ended up going straight to East Death Mountain and left some entrances behind. Felt really bad about it for the next hour until I got back there.
Yeah, I can't remember what was up there either.
I think maybe the book was up there.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yes, it was the book. Yes, now that you say that.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. But yeah, Ice Rod and Bow together in Super Bunny, and then it also ended up being like a useful connector, and it was just like I ended up calling it Hyper Bunny Cave because it was for a 2-item location. It had enough value in it to rival most of our 5-item locations. And Alaszun takes down Ganon, so he will be joining us shortly.
It's really quiet in here.
Too quiet. GG, see ya.
Yeah.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's, Alaszun.
GG's, man. Meyer was just the one place I couldn't have it be. Yeah, happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my it was my go mode too.
Yeah,
I would say-
Meyer was the last choice of the pendant dungeons for both of you. I'd say probably what slowed you down the most, Alaszun, was not getting over to Catfish and getting those boots. And,
Yeah, that felt pretty bad.
And I'd say to a lesser extent, Zelga made the decision to Herapot much earlier than you did, and that led to the Eastern Big Key, which led to 2 big keys in Eastern, although the one that was actually hard locked by it was just the Meyer Big Key, which wasn't actually required. But then Thieves Town Big Key being in Eastern, and then Blind had the Pod Big Key, so it was just sort of like the big keys were kind of chaining from one to the other, and it was really like all started with that Hera Big Key that eventually you guys found in Ice Palace, but yeah, that sequence break and the earlier check on Catfish with the boots were probably the 2 things I think won the race for Zelga.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to check Catfish. I just got dive bombed at Dark Shopping Mall. Because I was trying to end my route at Zora and was gonna end solo there, and then so I went to Dark Shopping Mall and got hit by the zero on my way to the dock. And so at that point, it was not a super tempting option, especially when I was one item and one entrance from Go mode. Just frustrating, because I went to Thieves Town with the intention of doing Thieves Town into Mire, but I got the information that Mire was a pendant at about the same time that I got that Eastern Big Key, which obviously drew me away from Mire because I had a crystal to go for instead. And even though I got the Big Key back, like I'm sitting there with the Pod Big Key, I'm like, I literally just need to find Pod in the Desert Big Key and I'm done. And I'm sitting there at like 115, 120, and I'm like, okay, this could be over in like 5 minutes if I get lucky.
Sounds like we have the exact same thing.
Q clearing the rest of the world!
Yeah, I was on my way to Mire, and I was like, I'll just check these bonk rocks real quick on my way. Find Pod, find Flippers, and then, it literally was just get the Desert Big at that point, and I chose basically every dungeon that wasn't Mire instead when I was originally planning to go to Mire. Yeah.
I would say the Flippers pushed me to Swamp instead of Mire, and I assume you did a similar thing.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I did was get Skull as my my sixth crystal, so then I was just doing a bunch of other stuff too. Like I did Skull Woods because I hadn't touched that. Then I did Ice. Then I did Swamp, and then finally Mire. Then right side GT in there somewhere too.
I would say I did Red Side GT super early. I can't believe the 4 GT small keys were nothing. Like they were so early in sequence, and none of those small keys were logically required at all for anything. I came back, I got the key, I'm like, okay, well that's not key lock, maybe there's something here, and there was nothing there, okay. Maybe I just need to come back with a fire rod. Find the fire rod. Okay. Guess I'm climbing if I find the GT big key. And then 10 out of 11 big keys later, I still don't have a GT big key.
Yeah, we don't know where that is. I mean, I guess it didn't really lock anything required for skilled runners. I mean, for me, those GT smalls would have been very important because the second bow was at Bob's chest. But as long as you can do silverless scanning, you really didn't need those GT smalls.
Yeah. There was a Free Sphere Zero bow, so I knew logically that bow was irrelevant anyway.
Yeah.
And it was just weird to not see that. I actually was expecting the Moon Pearl to be there, and when I blind checked Sanctuary and it was the Moon Pearl, what the what is this doing here? Because I thought, okay, I have a hammer, I have a bunch of GT keys, I found GT really early with the mirror, this is gonna get me the hook shot somewhere, and Moon Pearl's gonna be there.
Yeah, we were thinking that, in commentary also, we also noticed that, I think at the time that the first one of you had found it, neither of you quite had everything you needed, but we also noticed that you guys had hammer, sword, big key to ice, and the Bombos medallion awfully early.
Yeah, that was interesting, and I mean, obviously it ended up being required to go into ice logically. And I was keeping my eyes peeled for ice, but ice was, I think, the last entrance I checked that wasn't boots or mitts locked. Because I went there right before Kern jumping over to with my lovely display of glitch exhibition, and definitely not my 6th try on my Kern jump.
At least you got it, man. I failed splash deletion into the waterfall 3 times, and I just said screw it and left.
See, I failed it once because I only had 3 pawns after failing Kern jump 6 times in a row. And then it was just those boots were real bad for me. That was the problem was Catfish wasn't bad to go back to, but there was not a great reason to go there with how little I was looking for. And given that I was still looking for pod and could get at least 11 items out of there, or actually 12 items once I had that third small key. But yeah, it was very much scavenger hunt for a while, and I'm pretty tilted by that dive bomb because that hurt me a lot. Almost as much as that getting drawn away from Meyer hurt me. I mean, to be fair, I was going to check Bombo's tablet first anyway, so it's not like I was going to go Thieves Town, mirror into desert, and run over to Meyer, although I did think about doing that a lot. I wish I hadn't map checked. That would have saved me too, if I hadn't map checked, I think. Because I probably would have gone into Meyer anyway.
That's kind of what I was doing too. Is like if I had done Thieves Town, and I was planning to go to Meyer until I saw it was a pendant, and then I just skipped it for forever.
Yeah. I was saying, it was less dependent, more just like, okay, well, I haven't stepped into Eastern, so I can now get everything from Eastern, and Eastern is super free to get to. And of course, it just ended up being nothing. And so, I mean, the boots locking pod, what I was looking like, that was the sequence that kind of killed me, probably from about the 110 mark till about the 130 mark, where I just staggered along, not really being able to do anything. Was sad. And I, like, truthfully, I really don't like seeds like these. Like, I really don't like seeds where you can, like, really, really dodge almost all of the seed if you just happen to luck out. But I mean, it also sounds like Zelga played better than me, and it also sounds like we did mostly the same thing, so it's not like there's any, like... I said this after last game. If I lose this game, I'm not going to feel bad about how I played in this tournament. Like, I have individual regrets about individual things in individual matches. But I feel I got further than I expected. I'm really happy with how I played on the whole. I think I went into this tournament having gotten like 1 sub 2 ever, and I've dropped about 10 or 15 in the last 2 months. But, you know, I mean, at this point, everyone's really good, and you're just going to lose to good people sometimes.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt coming into this. Like, I've already long since surpassed my expectations or goals for this tournament, so I'm getting to play a great series with you after a great first race of the whole tournament. I'm very lucky that I
would say I heartily enjoyed all 4 of our matches, and I think all of them were very fun, and all of them were, I assume, to a degree relatively close, even though this was probably the longest gap we had. But even so, like, I was barely not in go mode by the time you finished, and I easily could have been in go mode if I had just made a different choice or two. And I had outs if I just, like, if I had gone to Meyer right away, like, finding pod, I probably clock in a little bit, like, probably finish with, like, a 148, I would guess. Unfortunately, it didn't manifest that way, so I did end up full clearing pod. I did end up clearing swamp, and I mean, that's just the way the ball rolls sometimes. I mean, I'm on charmed life in this tournament anyway. I should have been out in losers bracket round 2, but I won by 20 seconds because I did right side of left side swamp first and got the hook shot. So, you know.
I mean, for what it's worth, I'm totally with you on the. This is not the type of seed that I would like to play in general.
I think most good runners generally feel that way too, because it feels like there's so little actually in your control if you don't just walk the perfect route. And like, people are like, "Oh, jet seed, so cool," but I think most runners I talk to kind of hate jet seeds, especially in a 1v1 format. Although it's worse in a big race format, just because you never know, like, oh, oops, I did this one unnecessary thing and my opponent didn't, guess I'll lose.
Right, and it's so stressful in 1v1 environments like this, especially.
I would say, when were you looking for my dot done? I started looking for your dot done at about 1:30, so...
Probably like 125, 130, yeah.
That's when I'm like, this would be an absurdly fast time, but I wouldn't be, like, if the Desert Bricky's just there, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, like, I
Shadow, I played the Ocarina of Time Season 3 quals. Trust me, I know.
I mean, I basically full cleared like 4 dungeons when I only needed the DP big, so I was watching that room out of the corner of my eye the whole time, because it just kept feeling worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, it was a pretty feels bad. Oh well, that's the end of my run. That's all right though. Cool. Yes, I need to find something else to do with my time now, other than practice this. It's weird. I've been in 2 tournaments, and then in the last week or so, I've got knocked out of both of them, and so I have a lot of free time with my gaming suddenly. But yeah. Thanks for the great matches, Zelga. This is fun. I am sure I will catch you on ladder many times.
Yeah, sounds great. I'm off to a bad start, so I don't know if we're ever going to get matched up. But yeah,
I'm 1-2 this season.
I'm 0-2.
Uh oh, it's gonna happen again. I don't want it anymore.
It is. Blame Lynn bodying me.
Come on, Lynn. Calm down, man. Alright, I don't know if we have anything else to say. Shadow, do you have anything you want to prop up? I know this is kind of a long day for a lot of people. Although I don't think any of us did double duty here. Well, Zelga and I were doing double duty trolling Twitch chat and racing this, but I don't think that counts.
I did. I was the tracker for the first race of the doubleheader.
I'll say I knew you were in. I know you were in Twitch chat. I didn't know if you were actually having to pay attention to the feed, or you got to just pop in and make sage comments occasionally, and or copy pasta, one of the two.
And the only thing I have to say is that tomorrow there is one match of anything on the schedule. Is Majora's Mask Granda. It was a rescheduled match. Just Jess versus FaZe. Anybody else have anything before I set everybody off here?
No, just GG's, and thanks for having us. Love it being part of it.
Good luck, everyone left.